On episode 2013 of the Joe Rogan Experience, wildlife adventurer Paul Rosalie reveals his jaw-dropping encounter with one of the Amazon's most feared predators, the giant anaconda. In this conversation, he and Rogan explore the raw truth behind these legendary creatures, the myths of even bigger ones lurking in the jungle, and the terrifying beauty of the Amazon's apex predator. Let's watch this together.
This is the largest scientifically wild-caught verified anaconda that we have in scientific literature. I mean, people have records of bigger ones. I've seen bigger ones. We named her Eleanor after my grandmother.
That's the 18-foot one.
This is the 18 feet 6 inches. She was 220 pounds, but she was hungry.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
So if that one that got a hold of you, that's not this one. It's a different one.
No, the one that got a hold of me was, 5 feet shorter than this one. This thing is a dragon. This thing is like the Kraken. There's no way.
No, how big do they get?
That's JJ, by the way. I keep talking about. Okay, so here's my measurement. And actually somebody recently sent me a video of you and Forrest Galante.
Yeah.
Talking about this, about how big can an anaconda get. Me and JJ were out on this place called the Floating Forest one night, and I was thinking about getting on the cover of National Geographic. I was thinking about getting attention at that time.
Right.
And, but we had gone deeper down the Amazon rabbit hole than anyone had ever gone. We found this place, the Floating Forest, where you're walking on rafts of floating grass and you're walking past treetops. So there's a forest underneath the lake, but you're walking on the surface of it. And the anacondas love it.
Wow.
Because they can sit on these grassy islands, and if anything comes, the whole thing is like a giant tympanic membrane. As soon as something takes a step, they're like threat, and they go down. And just like any big fish, just like any ancient giant crocodile, those shrewd old motherfuckers that have been there for a century, that's where they live. And so we were out there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we're walking on these grassy rafts, and JJ's going, "This is Anaconda." And I went, "That is not Anaconda," because the grass was pushed down, but it was this big. And I was like, this can't be Anaconda. He's going, "This is." He goes, "If it was a crocodile," he goes, "you'd see the feet." And I was like, "It just can't be." And then at middle of the night, the stars are shining in the black water and everything. And we're by the tops, we're in the canopy of a forest on top of a lake, and we see 2 anacondas. One of them is so big that I would say it was probably 24, 25 feet. Gigantic. That was an 18-footer. Then there was another, a 16-footer on it. And my first response was, we have to catch this snake. And so I jumped on it. I just didn't think about it. I just jumped on the snake.
Oh my God.
And so the snake, and I always say Pixar, it didn't happen. But this was the middle of the night. I jumped on the snake. And as I'm holding it, the one measurement I have is that I was holding onto the snake and my fingers couldn't touch. That's how big this thing was. And so it dragged me to the edge of the grass. That big.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Your fingers couldn't touch.
Yeah. So
my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so big.
It's so fucking big. And people said, "Oh, did it eat something?" And it was like, no, that was how big the snake was. And I know, because when she got to the edge of the grass, I dipped in head first. And this snake could have turned around and just eaten me. She didn't. Her head was bigger than a Rottweiler. It's bigger than Marshall's.
Oh my God.
But she dove into the water. Her idea is just escape, stay alive. So she goes down, and my face poked into the water, and I was like, fuck that. You look straight down into hell down there. And I was sitting there holding onto the grass with this giant anaconda rushing by me, 25 feet of anaconda slithering past me. And I put my hand on her. And as she went by, my hand eventually went, and then her tail slipped by me. And I was just alone in the dark in the Amazon. And I just seen this dragon. And then I turned around and went, "What the fuck happened to JJ?" And JJ's just standing there, and he turned completely white. And he was his circuits were blown. He was like, and I was like, "You could have helped." I was like, "You could have helped, man."
So can you just help me out here? So the treetops, essentially there's water under the treetops. So you're walking on the treetops. So how deep is the water below you?
30, 40 feet.
So you're essentially walking on
grassy islands.
On episode 1279 of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe and comedian Jessime Peluso dive into one of Florida's most chilling wildlife stories, the rise of massive pythons in the Everglades. What they discussed here isn't just a wild tale, this invasion is real, and it's turning Florida's swamps into a battleground between man, nature, and one of the most unstoppable predators on the planet. Let's dive in.
Did you see that python that they found in the middle of the Everglades? It was 17 feet long.
Oh my.
I Googled it. I saw this.
Ugh.
This is one of the things I was talking about exotic pets. I Googled it. They get to 30 feet long.
I can't even understand that. That is ridiculous.
So then I went down a hole.
Oh, I did. I saw that
Python hole. The record 17-foot-long python carrying 73 eggs captured in Florida's Everglades.
Another reason we should just get rid of Florida. Snap it off and push it into the ocean. There's too much craziness happening there.
Look at that fucking snake. Now, here's the thing that freaked me out. I found out those snakes get twice that length.
Oh.
So this has only been going on apparently for like the last 15 or so years. They apparently didn't have a real population of pythons in the Everglades 15 years ago.
Did somebody's pet get loose? That thing had 73 eggs in it.
I know. No, it didn't get loose. Some asshole just released a snake.
Right.
Someone just chucked it out the window.
And then it fucks up the balance of the ecosystem.
They escaped from a breeding facility destroyed by Hurricane Andrew in 1992.
Well, that makes sense.
100%.
That's how a horror movie starts. Dark.
Great horror movie. Somebody write that script.
Tens of thousands of Burmese pythons are estimated to now be living in the area. And that's just now. They've completely wiped out all the raccoons, all the skunks, all the rabbits. There's almost no mammals. So, yeah, they're eating alligators now.
Nice. Those things eat alligators? That's a video to see. Forget the dude naked at Chick-fil-A.
There's a photograph of one that died because the alligator chewed its way out of its body.
Nature is so brutal, man. So
goddamn ruthless.
But there's some beauty in that ruthlessness. Just that like undying desire for survival that exists in creatures like that can't. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy. They're just gonna eat their way out of you to survive.
Yeah, there's something cool about it as long as it's not your 5-year-old kid that gets snatched.
Absolutely. That's a goddamn nightmare.
Look at this.
Show this, but this is just for you guys.
So what is this one doing? This is one eating a video.
You look at that.
Is it a different one? I think this is an anaconda and a caiman. It says python eats alligator.
Alive.
Yeah, it eats the whole thing.
I mean, it eats the whole thing alive.
Oh, is that a python for sure?
I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it is. Seems like it is.
That's actually a video of me eating a grilled cheese and two hands.
Look at how it is sped up, but look how it gets all the way down to the fucking tail. That is amazing.
I wonder if snakes have taste buds or if it's just for pure hunger.
Dude, just stop and think about what we're looking at here. This fucking snake just ate a whole alligator.
There goes a tail. Oh my.
When it's in its body and it's just going to break it down. Look at that. Evil.
Then he's got to go away and chill because they're vulnerable when they eat that. He's got to go and just hide under a canopy.
Well, that's why there's like snakes everywhere on Earth.
Well, now there are in Florida.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not everywhere because if they really could just eat and then go out and eat again, like real quick, like how a lion could.
Right. They would eat all the ecosystem would be destroyed. They'd eat up everything.
Where the alligator chewed its way out. Ew! Look at that.
Also kind of badass of that alligator.
It looks like the tail popped out.
Can't even see what's going on.
Yeah, maybe the tail, because those tails are very strong and they're so thick. It's like an armor.
Go to that website. See what Will's amazed about it. Jesus Christ.
That is really wild.
But that's just shows you how hungry these fucking things are. They've eaten everything that's out there.
But also their their ability to capture something and then kill it, that's that vicious.
Right, an alligator.
Like, those are kind of hard to sneak up on and capture and hold on to.
I don't think they are.
You don't think so?
No, I think that's one of the reasons why it could get it so quick. I think they just lay around most of the time. And I think alligators don't tweak because they don't have any natural enemies until the pythons came along. I don't
because they're so badass.
Yeah, I don't think they're equipped for this.
Yeah, they're probably not equipped for it. You're probably right. Where the snake found a vulnerability in the system. He's like, I'm going to snack on alligators.
I wonder how long it takes a snake with its nasty gut juices to break down alligator hide.
3 days, 3 to 4 days.
Really?
That's my guess. I'm going to say at least a week to break down all that. Maybe even longer.
Yeah.
It's got to have some gnarly,
acids
in its stomach to break that down.
Yeah, some shit like from the movie Alien.
Yes.
In Joe Rogan's podcast, 1927, with wildlife adventurer Forrest Galante, they dive into one of nature's wildest legends, the giant anaconda. Imagine a snake so massive, it could swallow a jaguar whole or stretch longer than a school bus. Could such monsters still be slithering through the depths of the Amazon? Let's check out.
I can sort of understand that in the sense of like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie. Like, I don't go for skydives or, any of that stuff. It doesn't drive me. But that thrill and rush I get of, darting a bear or working with a lion or doing, swimming with an anaconda, like that fuels me for weeks. Like I get getting goosebumps thinking about some of them right now because I get so excited by, and it's not just for a personal rush, but rather, we're doing it for work or whatever. But those moments stick with me forever. And I sort of get that, but not like I'm just going to risk my life over this climb or whatever, So
What are your
sort of
thoughts
different.
on giant anacondas? Like, because there's always been this thing about enormous anacondas that live in the rainforest.
So, yeah, there's fascinating. So I love anacondas. I believe, and I've got a colleague, Brian Fry, in Australia, actually, and he has a similar belief that there are 30-foot anacondas. Now, 30 is a big anaconda, but you're talking about those mysterious, like 100-footers.
Yeah.
Okay, so take out the Amazon and take out anacondas for a second.
Okay.
All right. Think about where all the largest snakes are in the world.
Florida.
Well, now, yes, but we've got all these wet tropical environments that house these huge snakes. In Indonesia, you have reticulated pythons, you have Burmese pythons, you have African rock pythons, Indian rock pythons, anacondas, all these big snakes.
Yeah.
The only place that has a wet, tropical, humid, high density of prey environment that doesn't have a massive snake is the Congo, Central Africa. Now,
Interesting.
stay with me. That area is home to some African rock python stuff, but not big monster anaconda size ones, right? But during World War II, there was a colonel who flew over there, and this was a well-respected colonel. I'm sure, Jamie, you'll be able to find this very quickly. A well-respected, like, I forget, he had like his wings or his patch of honor or whatever, like very distinguished, who him and his two passengers in the plane both reported a 100-foot long snake. They flew over it once. They're like, wait a minute, what is that? They were Dutch Belgium in the Congo. They flew over it once, went, what is that? And flew over it 2 more times to verify it and got so low to the ground that they said the snake struck at the airplane. And all 3 people, the pilot, this well-respected colonel, and the 2 passengers had the exact same story of this giant snake in Central Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah, and yet no big snake has ever been proven from there. But it's also a very poorly biologically explored area. And most of the time, when these animals get this big, snakes or otherwise, they're in very low. Yeah, here's the picture.
They took a photo of it?
Did. Yeah, they did. They're in very low densities. So that's the real photo over on the left there.
What did they think it was?
They thought it was a giant snake, a 50-foot long.
So that's the photo right there?
I believe so. But the story is fascinating of these colonels.
They don't know like what kind of snake. They don't know if it was an anaconda or python or.
It would be an undescribed species because the only snake there, the African rock python, doesn't get that big.
What is the biggest snake that we know? Oh, it says it measured approximately 50 feet in length. Saw brown green with a white belly, has a triangle-shaped jaw and a head 3 by 2 feet. Oh my God. A 3-foot head. The photo was later analyzed and verified to be genuine. Van Leerd claims that, is that how you say his name?
I'm not sure, but that was the Colonel, Remy Van Leerd.
As he flew lower for a closer inspection, the snake rose up approximately 10 feet, giving a warning that it would have attacked a helicopter if it had been within striking range.
But imagine flying over and having a snake sort of lunge at a helicopter.
A 3-foot snake head. Jesus
So,
Christ.
Jamie, do you mind going to my Instagram
Literally
quickly?
swallow you alive.
Dude,
easily.
look at this one. I posted a picture day before yesterday. This is 18 feet, and look at the size of it compared to me and how scary this snake is. Now, to think of, like you said, you're like an M&M to a snake.
You're Tic Tac. You and them chocolate covered almonds that are so good for you. Oh, look at the size of that thing.
That's an 18-footer, and look at how.
God.
Granted, it's not 3 foot by 2 foot head, but still, that thing.
What's the weight on something like that?
It was over 200 at broker scale. Yeah, it was over 200 pounds.
Wow. Indonesian villagers claim to have captured a python that is almost 49 feet long and weighs nearly 990 pounds.
I've seen this. It's not verified at all.
Do they have an image of it?
This might be the one that's on the tractor. No, it's not. There's a fake one on a tractor that
It's fake?
floated around. Well, it's just very forced perspective. It's like a wide angle lens and the snake is right in front, but it looks massive.
But this is NBC. This is NBC News. Let's see if it has images, this sucker.
So these are all like retics, and there are big snakes out there.
Dude, look at the size of that goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Jesus. So, what is the biggest snake? Is it a python? The biggest snake that we know of?
So the heaviest is the reticulated python.
Look at the size of that thing.
Yeah.
How big is that?
That's big. It's probably 20-ish. So there's quite a lot of 20-foot snakes out there. And then there's a couple 21, 22s, but that's it. And so there's all these rumors of 30-foot snakes and 40-foot snakes and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing that's been verified outside of one skin, I believe. Well, I want to say from Indonesia that is but skin stretch. That's the other thing,
it turns out to be a tall tail. It says when recreation park in Indonesia put a huge reticulated python on show last week, keepers insisted to reporters it was 49 feet long, make it the longest ever caught, but the find turned out to be a tall tail.
Yeah.
So how big was it exactly?
I bet it was 20-ish. 21, there it is.
Yeah. 21 feet still.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a big snake, man.
But not 50.
Not 50.
I have no idea why the snake has shrunk, said one keeper when asked about the discrepancy as the snake lounged on a tree branch inside the cave. But things do shrivel up when you catch them.
Yeah.
Like fish do. Like when you catch a fish. Yeah.
Well, definitely when you tell people about it, but
Just when you show people.
I went fishing here in Austin this morning.
Oh, did you really?
Right downtown, literally right in front of the Google building. We were pulling Ladybird Lake.
Yeah, there's lots of ass out there.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great little spot. Yeah.
Really fun.
Right in front of the Google building.
Right in front of it.
Yeah. So the biggest in the world is the python, right? So they are bigger than anacondas?
So it's sort of a toss-up. The reticulated python has been clocked as the heaviest snake in the world because they get fatter, but the anacondas have been clocked in slightly longer. I think 26 feet is the longest ever recorded.
Did you see the Jennifer Lopez movie, Anaconda?
The documentary? Yeah, it's great.
Such a corny movie.
It's so good. The bad snake head, if you watch it, so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad.
But that was always the rumor, is that there was enormous snakes in the Amazon,
yeah.
And that, you just didn't see them.
I do believe that there are some megafauna out there that are yet to be found.